Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to Lanco Theory Education Services Limited online tutorials for A-level programs, IJMB and GPEP, as well as post-UTME classes. We are doing this during this period because of the lockdown by the state and federal government, but we know that your phone cannot be locked down, and that is why this is brought to you by Lanco Theory Education Services Limited. The number is displayed on the board for further inquiries. Today, we'll be looking at government as a subject. And in doing this, we are starting with the introductory aspect of government. And firstly, we'll be looking at what is government. Secondly, we'll look at the functions of government. And thirdly, we'll look at the relevance of government. Now, I'm talking about the meaning of government. The word government was derived from a Latin word, gubernaculum, which means a framework. You may be wondering, what framework are we talking about? We are talking about the framework from where the functions of the organs of government are derived from. What are the organs of government? We all know that the organs of government are the legislature, executive, and the judiciary. In our further classes, we will be looking at the organs of government. To put it together, government means political authority of the state. That is, the body that has the highest command of authority in every state. Meanwhile, scholars have equally looked at government from different perspectives, from different angles. And that is why Apadora, in his own perspective, described government as a machinery through which the will of the state can be formulated, expressed, and realized. That is, in concise, the meaning of government. Looking at the functions of government, basically, there are certain functions that are expected of every government of the state, which are 1. Protection of lives and property. 2. Provision of infrastructural facility. 3. Provision of welfare services. 4. Protection of our human rights. And 5. Interpretation of law through the judiciary. Looking at these functions, they are very, very essential in every state, and government must be able to perform these functions. If the government fails to perform any of these functions, then such a government is nothing to write home about. The first one, protection of lives and property. This means that a reasonable government must be able to protect the lives and properties of its citizens. I.e., even if it's a dog you have, your government must be able to protect it. And the lives of the citizens of every state must be very, very fundamental to the government of that state. It must not watch its people suffer or being killed by terrorists in any state. 2. Infrastructural facilities. The government of the state must be able to put in place certain infrastructural facilities such as road constructions for the betterment of the citizens of that state. Welfare services, that is the third one. That is the well-being of the citizens of the state. The well-being of the citizens of the state must be paramount to every government of the state. And the government must be able to make provision for hospitals and other things that are capable of ensuring the well-being of the citizens of that state. The third one, protection or safeguard of human rights. Human rights are essential rights, privileges that can be enjoyed by the citizens of every state, and this must be protected by the government of that state. The way you can protect your right is if your right is violated, you can easily approach the court to seek redress. And the last one is interpretation of law through the instrument of the judiciary. If you are afraid that a particular law is not being implemented in such a way that that law is expected to be implemented, they can always approach the judiciary to seek the proper interpretation of that law. Part of the way they interpret the law is by punishing offenders. If a person is accused of theft, the only instrument you can use to punish that person is by approaching the court of law. If you don't approach the court of law and you kill such a person or you punish such a person, that is referred to as what? Jungle justice. The next one is relevance of government. At this point, I must be able to distinguish between the functions of government and the relevance of government. They are similar, but they are never one and the same. While the functions of government are particular about the duties of government, this one shows the reason, the rationale why you study government, reasons for studying government, or the rationale. Action. To avoid confusion, the relevance of government are different from the functions of government. The relevance to the study of government are the reasons or rationale why we study government. The rationale for studying government are similar to the functions of government, but they are not the same. This one is what the government asks you to know as a government student. And one of them is that as a government student, you know the systems of government. 2, you know your fundamental human rights. You know the kind of constitution that is adopted by a state. And so many other things. At this point, I must draw your attention to the fact that Lamco Theory Educational Services offers both A-level and O-level programs. Their A-level programs include IJMB and JUPEB, and their O-level programs include SSCE, NAPTEP, WAEC, and GCE, and they also offer post-UTME classes. For details, you can contact the number that is being displayed before you, as well as their website and the emails of the organization. Back to our study. The systems of government that you can know as a student, which is one of the relevance of the study of government, is 1. As a government student, you can know that parliamentary system is a system of government. Presidential is a system of government. Unitary system of government. Federal system of government. And many more. These are the systems of government that the study of government can expose you to. What do we mean by these systems of government? You will know that in our further classes. Fundamental human rights. Like I said earlier, fundamental human rights are the privileges that you can gain or be entitled to by virtue of being a citizen of a particular state. For instance, in Nigerian Constitution, by virtue of Section 33 to 45 of the 1999 Constitution, you will see a lot of rights that the Nigerian government has given to you by virtue of being a Nigerian citizen. Some of these rights are not available to any other citizen but a Nigerian citizen. For instance, right to legal aid. An external cannot come to Nigeria and seek free legal service. If he does not have the money of a lawyer, then he can only contact the government of the state. Secondly, right to vote and be voted for. These are rights that are peculiar to the citizen of a particular state. The next one is, it helps you to know the types of constitution adopted in a particular state. For instance, in Nigeria, we operate federal system of government. By virtue of this, we equally adopt federal constitution. While states that operate parliamentary system of government adopt unitary system of government, as well as a unitary constitution. You can only know this if you are a government student. Our next topic, like I've said, our next topic is citizenship. Before we commence, let me draw your attention to the fact that this tutorial is being sponsored by Lamco Theory Educational Services Limited. You can see their number on the board for further inquiries. Their emails and website is equally being displayed on the screen. Citizenship. Citizenship is the legal status of being a citizen of a particular state. Who is then a citizen? A citizen is a person that is qualified to enjoy the benefits or privileges, human rights, that are contained in the constitution of a particular state. Like I said earlier, the Nigerian Constitution, by virtue of section 33 to 45, contains certain rights that can only be enjoyed by virtue of being a citizen of Nigeria. How do you become a citizen of Nigeria? You can call it mode of acquiring citizen, you can call it types of acquiring citizenship or types of citizenship, or you can equally call it how to become a Nigerian citizen. The following ways are recognized by our constitution to become a Nigerian citizen. The first one, like I said, the first one is by birth. The second one is by registration. The third one is by naturalization. And the last one is by honor. Now, the first one by birth.